Hello, everyone. Welcome again to Street Hands podcast. I'm your host, Tomi Loba. I need to do this again. I don't know if I forgot my name. Hello, everyone. It's Street Hands podcast again, and it's a bro Adeboy as usual. And joining me today is Manuel Ade and Sazirella. Today, we are talking about Nigeria's economy and a little bit of politics too. We are trying to react on one part to the recent interview that was granted by the Minister of Power concerning electricity and also the rate of dollar that has been, should I say that has been dropping or that has dropped for a bit because I think it's now a little bit steady. And so we want to look at,
1,250.
yeah, so we are looking at how it affects us. So is this promise coming true from our president? But or is it just a temporary measure to just keep people quiet? And so first and foremost, I want us to react to, I don't know if you guys saw the interview by the Minister of Power where he was talking about, oh, the one of the reasons they are increasing the tariff is because of the way people use electricity. People leave their freezers on, people, and for me, I was like, what? How does that have anything to do with tariff? If you are billing people per kilowatt of electricity or whatever it's called, is it not how much they use that they will be charged from whatever card they buy? How why should that be something that influence government policy in terms of how? So are you trying to say that you don't want people to use electricity? That's why you are increasing the tariff.
I would not start by insulting anybody, but it's just that I feel that we should actually put the right people on the right seat. Because on a situation whereby I don't know about other states, so let me talk about my state. Virtually, let's say 60% to 70% are actually running on prepaid. If I choose to leave my light on, if I choose to leave my freezer on, if I choose to leave all my cables, all my
Or your
electricity,
appliances, yeah.
whatever on, yeah, my appliances on. It is it is my prepaid that would run out. Then I would need to get another prepaid. Sure, you understand. But a situation whereby you're now trying to tell me that you need to increase. I don't know. I don't know where the cause and effect is coming in from. It just doesn't work. In my work where you're trying to say, okay, while growing up where you just see that your there's a wire going to your pole, and there's this socket somewhere that is reading. Then at the end of the month, a NEPA guy will come, read
And
what you
read
used
it and give
before,
you a
read
bill.
what you have, then give you a bill. That's where you say, okay, I'm using this too much. That's why my bill is increasing. But a situation whereby I am using a prepaid, please, can you explain to me how this is how like what is the cause and effect of the two together? It just doesn't work,
Because I
you
feel
know.
like there are people everywhere I know. One of especially when you talk about deep freezers, and of course you can't leave your iron on permanently when you're going out, or you can't leave
Mm-hmm.
boiling on. But there are
Mm-hmm.
some things that are essential. As a matter of fact, the main purpose of their existence is for them to continue to work.
Keep
You are
on
not
running,
supposed to
yeah.
be turning it on and off. One,
And
the only
off,
times
yeah.
that you probably want to turn off your freezer is maybe it has gotten totally frozen that you cannot take things out of it again, and you decide to let it defrost totally so that you can get things out. But especially in a country where the electricity itself is not constant, they now brought
Chorus.
you now have light for a few hours. You already know that even if you don't turn off that fridge, NEPA will turn it off for you at
They'll turn
some
it off
point.
for you. What are we talking about?
So what is now the logic
Uh,
in turn? I just feel like it's or this generally my own assessment of all of these things is a lot of these politicians are not in touch with the reality of things, and they just
mm,
and you would assume that okay when they are Nigerians, but they are so disconnected from the reality of average Nigerians that they just come on TV and they just yarn whatever they want to say, and you just wonder where is this one coming from. It was basically chastising Nigerians on that interview, and then trying to use it as a basis for justifying their decision.
Funny
I
enough,
agree with you on that.
if
On the okay,
okay, thanks, Sassy. So funny enough, if I'd watched this particular interview, I'm very sure I'd have gone under to comment something that might, you know, let's leave the rest. So the funny thing is, these guys are actually disconnected. It's just like the way I was saying the other day. Now, presidents they buy for nowadays. For you to walk into the filling station or drive into the filling station, bro, your fee don't spend like 30 minutes on queue. Unless you know somebody there that will call you up ahead first and be like, Ogbeni, wa tanker go soon land, oh, the rush come.
Mm.
So you have that first, that presidential, you reach there first. If you know even still guard, bro, area boys go run you straight for there, say, what is going on? I'm Harry. Person wey you don't collect money from, go carry am come your front, say, oh yeah, that's it. You know, those kind of. So they are really, really disconnected. And I don't know, you know, there's this, we know initially that there are places where they have light for a long period of time in a day. But now we have been told that there are places, those places that we thought we having probably 18 hours, 20, we still try, even give them 20 hours. Where
in
we
a
thought they
day.
would have 18 hours, 15 hours amount of light a day. We have been told they have between 20 to 24 hours. So we knew there were also places that we felt like, okay, those places that were having 24 hours light, supply of light. Probably along the line, they were using the inverter to shock it or generator to shock it. But from the
Mm.
conversation we are in, those people are having steady power supply. And then there are the high rise areas. Those are the grade A areas. And then we have the very, very regular set of people who are having 10 hours and below hours of light in a day. So basically,
In a
we have
day or in
people
a week.
in it.
I remember when I was living in Lisha, there was this
Oh
system. I
my
don't know
goodness.
if they still do it. They will say this
Oh,
street
two
you
days
have
on, one day
on
off.
two
All this
days on,
rubbish.
1 day off, and that 2 days on,
My bro.
the entire time you used to
My
have light
bro.
can be like 5 hours for the 2 days,
Mm,
and that's your own deal. Out of that
yeah.
5 hours, okay, there was a particular time that we had light for like 7 hours straight, and we are all worried that I should transfer on the
Like,
blue
what's going on?
because
You know, Shirley, right?
Ade, there was a tweet that I read. I think it
Yes.
was raining sometimes in Lagos, and and
Okay.
and this guy came and said, "Ha, it's raining in Lagos,
You
and
know, offline.
there is still light. Dear NEPA, there is light, so take it off." And in my head, I'm like, because it's actually
Come on, love,
norm.
budget. Come on, love,
You
budget.
know, it's actually norm.
like
Let's
people
talk
are
about
legitimately worried that transformer Emma to be
Oh, my
you
right.
know. Let us talk about norm. The thing and the reality about we average Nigeria is we need the light more
They
now.
don't spoil us for
I
this
need
country. No.
yes. There's now okay, like there is inflation in the market, another topic entirely. So I need to sit down in a month, calculate how much my salary is, remove transport fare out of my salary, then buy food stuff that I'm going to cook and keep inside the freezer. And I'm going to cut this thing as per the number of days before I know that another income is coming in for me to be able to
Mm.
cook another food. That is the reality of Nigeria now for average Nigerians, you know, and and you're coming
And
in to
that
come and
average
tell
does
me
not
that
even
I am
apply to
using
people like
too
Ade that
much.
are tech bros
Because, bro,
that they
how
are
do you know
tech.
what I was coming to? Bro, do you know the funny
For
thing
who?
is?
See,
You
see,
know
for
the
like for like
concept behind this?
3 weeks now,
Yeah?
for like 3 weeks now in my house, it is just calculated in my head that from I think from Saturday up until Wednesday, there's no light. So I have to take my phones to work every day to go and charge.
Wow.
I have the
That,
power bank that is even swollen now, and I need to constantly still manage because the I cannot buy another power bank, but to buy Oremo power bank now I need like 5K. So I need to save up, manage
whereas
this
that
this power
55K you
bank that
want
is
to buy power
swollen.
bank is the same price they used to sell inverter and battery together.
Then
Imagine.
not now. If you want to buy inverter and battery, you'll be using like 1 point something million, brother.
But with
Yes,
installation,
with installation, and the battery is small, it's just for a few hours. So if you're adding more
Mm.
battery, you add more money to it. So I have to make sure that then I need to be offering my data so that I'm trying to manage my battery. As
Battery
soon as
and
I'm back in the
data.
house, I'm managing my battery, and you're telling me that like I'm using too
what
much
is
light. Like
you know
way.
that was what I was just about saying, that if you know how valuable electricity is, electricity brings life, it brings productivity. Make
Hmm.
make you don't even get anything where you want to. Based on say you get life, you
Yeah.
go know and find something to do.
Mm.
So you can imagine in a scenario where some set of people are already being categorized that these people we not go give them. What is the level of productivity that will come from such set of people?
Yeah.
And then you now be like, this set of people are all market people. Why would they be market people? The way their mind has been positioned and works
Hmm.
towards is let's go outside and make money. Those set of people, you now realize that you that you are living somewhere, you have the mental capacity to do things and deliver in some
Yeah,
things.
you are more,
And
and
you,
it
you
even
want to
makes you
look
more
down on some
energetic to want
people.
to do things because
I'm
you know
telling
that.
you, you don't want to look down on some people and be like, I have more opportunities than these guys. You, bro, you didn't have more opportunities. Oh, they took away the opportunities like they were like that. If they had
Honestly,
such opportunities like you, they would have thought
I think
they would have thought of good ways
that's one
to make
angle that a
money.
lot of people don't even look like. The rate of
I'm telling
productivity that
you,
you can get from just having electricity, the ability to
it
be able
goes
to
far.
get things done, and all that kind of thing. It, it just makes you idle at times when there's no light because almost everything has to slow down. Just like you said, imagine if you're somebody that relies on your data to work, and then you have to
Hmm.
think about saving data, saving battery, turning it off, turn it off. That one alone already messes with your ability to function effectively because that is what you rely
Hmm.
on a lot.
Production will be reduced
And
by
then you
20%.
now talk about, oh, we have a population of youths that are not as productive. It's not just about giving them money. I feel like an average Nigerian person, an average youth in Nigeria, is not looking for handouts. Like, just give me money.
At all. At
What they're
all.
asking for is the enabling environment to be able to do the things they want to do, function, and to be able to achieve. Look at pandemic. I think it was 2019 or so that this whole thing about skit making kind of blew up just because people were able to have access to a little more technology and internet. This
Hmm.
whole skit making started with people holding their phone like this to record,
Yes.
and then it
Yes.
became something that they transitioned into getting a whole camera setup
Yes.
and video editing and things like that.
Having a
Look at,
proper plot. Yes.
yeah, the little thing that was offered to youths, it's now an entire industry
Uh-huh.
that the government
Maybe
is
that's
still
why the
thinking
Fed
about
starts
how
to
to.
close down all these cryptocurrency companies and the rest.
uh And now it has become something like companies will rather give one influencer money than to go
Mm.
and put their name on one billboard that nobody's looking at because they
Yeah.
know that this person will bring their products to people's faces more. And it is quantifiable. You can actually be
Yeah.
sure of how many people are seeing your product on somebody's
Yes.
page compared to how
Yes.
many
Hmm.
people are looking at your billboard on the street.
Mm-hmm.
So look
Hmm.
at that kind of thing. Just internet brought that. Imagine if there's constant electricity. We now couple that. The possibility of what people can do is unlimited. You now say the
Yes.
little
Hmm.
you now give them, they should be offering fridge again when they are going out. So one guy now that is doing, let's say he's doing side hustle, small chops, that he has made samosa and spring rolls that he has put in his fridge. Because he's going out, he should turn off the fridge.
Mm.
So the samosa and spring roll that is inside that fridge that he wants to go and fry for a party tomorrow, will it not spoil if he has to turn off his fridge?
Okay, but
Exactly. Little things like that. And that's why I feel like the government is in a way disconnected with the realities of it.
mm,
You think that
mm,
people that are sometimes I don't even understand it. Right? Anything that follows logic when it comes to Nigeria just turns upside down. You think politicians
Does it really
that
turn
are
upside
grassroots
down, or we actually forget? I don't know. I feel like God has wired us to actually forget the pains of yesterday. Because how do you explain a politician that grew up in the ghetto? That is
exactly
that
you think they
God
should be
has
able
now
to
blessed
relate.
you now have like opportunities, and we are expecting you to give answers. Okay, maybe because you are there, you are going to represent us better. And you are the one that is even disappointing us the most.
you see that concept where they say that when people get there, they change. Nah, lie. When you were on the streets, you were mad. So you just got there and implemented your madness on the
Just get the
higher level.
opportunity to
People,
I think nowadays they don't pray again they don't pray again that God, how do I put it? It's not now longer when I am poor you will see my character. The real idea sense about it is when I am rich. That is when you see who I am, like who the kind of person, my real personality comes out like that.
everybody's
It's
true
not when I
nature
am
comes out.
poor.
When that shekeli money comes out like this.
Mm.
you know because I sit down sometimes and I think about a lot of things that's actually going on in Nigeria, and in my head I'm like, okay, should we talk about politician that is demolishing houses and you have sold this supposed land that people are staying, and people are coming out and protesting in Lagos, Oworo to be precise. I don't know whether it's not solved it or not, but at least I think I was following it up until recently where where they said a grandmother that has lost her child, that has her grandchildren with her, you demolished her house, and the grandmother died. Now the grandchildren are actually homeless. I think that was the story there about. And in my head, I'm thinking about it that you were once a child. Imagine if you did not have a roof over your head. Are you still going to be where you are today? You are pushing these children outside for them to be problems for Nigerian society
Mm.
tomorrow. You know, we just
How would
I
I
don't know,
know?
we just tend to actually forget where we have been,
Coming from.
and yes, where we are coming from, and you now feel like, okay, it should be like this. I think there should
Do you know
be a manual somewhere.
I think
There should be a
one thing
manual
that I
somewhere
noticed,
that 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 will remind us of our yesterdays.
yes. No, you know
You
what
know,
I think? I feel like um there's this ruling class of people who every once in a while they allow somebody to come up to keep the others quiet. So for instance, naturally they will always use their own children and their own friends and relatives to fill those positions. But every once in a while they will pick somebody from the masses to say, oh yeah, yeah, come. But then when that person joins this ruling class, they indoctrinate them to say, this is how we do here.
hmm.
And that indoctrination now gives that person the choice of is either you go back to where you're coming from, or if you want to stay, you have to do it
As even
the
if they
way
have
you
the
do.
choice.
Exactly.
As if
So
they
you
don't
now
come
see
come.
people, I don't want to mention them, but you see people that you think in your lane now is supposed to
I was
understand.
almost I was almost mentioning names.
Yeah, exactly.
I was
I'm sure
almost
I'm thinking in the
mentioning
same
names.
direction, but at
I
the
was
end of the
almost
day,
mentioning names. But really, you are shocked at the kind of personalities that we have now in Nigeria. And it actually doesn't surprise me again. You know, when that is why most times I always tend to tell myself, I can only tell you how I react in this situation because I am here right now. I might not be able to tell you how I would react when I get to another situation.
mm,
So maybe tomorrow I might decide to tell you that, okay, this okay. For instance, I think last time we are talking about single mothers, and I'll tell you that okay, I feel like single mothers are bad. So now we need you must be married
Mm.
maybe later. But for now, I have like another understanding about what single mother is, you know. So that's how things, you know, that's how I feel things are. So
So
I
you
just
think,
don't,
for
and I
instance,
always
if
give room for
Ade
mistakes.
finally gets that nomination as local government chairman, so now his behavior can change and his perspective. Maybe we'll have to be bringing all these videos to remind him that Ade, remember, remember.
You know, you when you were talking about the class, the ruling class,
Mm.
selecting people, right? And it just took me back to when I was in school. We did a course, behavioral, political
Political behavior,
behavioralism. You know,
Dr. Shola.
yes, I love that man. God bless that man. And you know that man was trying to analyze and was saying a class in itself and a class for itself, and it just
Mm.
brings about all those things that he was talking about in class. And you know, I think that is why my perspective is different when it comes to when they tell me that this person acted like this. I in my mind, I've already given the person room that this person people up at the end of the day. So at the end of
Mhm.
the day, when that said man now fuck up, I am not, you know, I am not shocked. I just like
Surprised.
it's a man, you know, a man has to be a man.
Yeah, honestly, it's really, and in a way, sometimes I think about it like it's even difficult to know exactly what is in the mind of these people. Okay, because of time, let's quickly talk about the dollar rate now, for instance. On one part, I feel like, okay, the dollar coming down, like Ade, you and I were talking about it earlier today, that um, on one part, it's um, they are using they are using money to defend the naira so that the
Yeah.
dollar, but we know that that is not something that can last for a long time because it
That's
has economic
yeah.
repercussions. On the other part
Yes.
of it is trying to boost foreign reserve because that's a long-term solution to helping the
Solution.
naira. But we know these things. Nigeria has some of the best economists in the world. Uh, we have produced the most brilliant minds, especially when it comes to economics, industry, and all the likes. We have they are even in government now. But you
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
think translate to something. Right now, I feel like, okay, the government is moving in the right direction. We should praise the fact that, okay, the dollar went up, now it has come down. But the question is, how sustainable is it where it is now? And the other things that need to happen, how are we sure that this government is dedicated enough to doing it, enough to be able to reap the long-term rewards? Are we going to wake up another 3 months now and dollar will go to 1.5 again, and then we'll be shortly between 1.2 and 1.5? And mind you, even though we should be happy that okay, at least it has come down to 1.2, it doesn't necessarily mean that 1.2 is a good price or amount. This
Comparison to the brown, exactly,
bank did not meet
to the
that
past.
one.
Yeah. Mm.
So it is only less worse than they made it.
Yeah.
It was like
Exactly.
some exactly. So it's not like it has fallen so much. We should be thankful that it has fallen. But the question is, how sustainable is it? Are we going to
Yeah.
continue to defend the naira, or are we really sure? Do we trust the government to even be able to give that long-term solution?
You know, just
I
as
am going
we
to
spoke earlier
okay.
today. Yeah. Sorry, Sazi. Just like we
Yeah, no, you
spoke
can
earlier today.
continue.
Thank you very much. One of the issues we have in Nigeria is the simple fact that we know the road, we know the way, we know how to implement things, but the results we
Mm,
get are not what we expect. So there's this issue of, according to universal knowledge, 1 plus 1 is 2. But you get to
Mm.
Nigeria and 1 plus 1 is 100. So that's consciousness of, yes, the government are doing everything possible to make this thing work. And they are
Mhm.
doing it the right way. And they are going about it to make sure that things fall in place. Because if you look at it, this is one of the things that affects both the rich and the poor. It's not like the
Yeah.
rich are getting richer of this and the poor are getting poorer. It affects everybody. So they are doing possibly what they have to do to make sure that dollar actually does come down, which we can see that it came down to 1.2, although it wasn't from. It's not like they collected the dollar when it was 1.5 or
Exactly.
1.9.
It was
So
like 700 or 750.
it was thank you. So it was their, don't let me use the word fuck up, but it was their own mess up or their dealings that took it all the way to
Even though you
to
just used
one
the
nine
word
two
anyway.
thousand.
Go on.
Exactly. So they are the one that help us bring it down to where it is now. But it's not like it's as good as it was
It
before.
should be.
So now, with the fact that what they are doing, if it actually pulls through, which it is supposed to pull through, the dollar is supposed to still drop. But knowing the way things are in Nigeria,
Mm.
we are hopeful that maybe the Baba Isales that we don't know that are still pulling strings,
The
or
cabal.
the thank you, the cabals, the powers that we actually don't know, that they are always being, they are always there, but we don't know them anymore. Before we could still point out some people,
The
but now I don't
political
even know.
Egbon Adugbos.
Thank you. It's all crazy now. So we are all just being hopeful. That's the funny thing. Because the bad part about this whole thing is, if these guys decide to hold on to their dollar and frustrate the whole thing, by the time it shoots up, they are the one that will still gain.
Yeah.
So, so in the real sense of the whole thing, just like we said, if they make sure that this thing actually works out and the 1+1 gives us 2 rather than 100, then everybody should smile, or rather, the poor should smile.
You were going to say
Okay.
something.
I wanted to say I am not going to talk from the aspect of being an economist. I am not. I studied political science, right? But let me talk from being in Nigeria. If
Mm.
dollar has dropped to 1,200, what is the effect in Nigerian economy right now? I'm not seeing it. I am not seeing the effect. There's still inflation. As of last week in the market, there's still another inflation. And when you go and ask these people about it, they will tell you that it would have to take if the said dollar falls and the government can maintain it, maybe in the next 6 months, that's when we are going to see the effect. So right now, whether you're telling me that dollar is 1,002, it is for those people that are doing exchange. Those are those people that are
It doesn't affect the
exporting,
common
importing.
man on the
It
street.
doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't affect the common man on the street because
I actually
they're still
think
like in price.
we
A
also
bag of rice
Mhm.
is still 80K and it's still increasing. So please tell me, how is it affecting me?
I actually think we also get the people that lead us. Like, we deserve the leaders we have, in the sense that a common man knows how to shoot up price when dollar
The
goes up.
moment he hears
Exactly.
dollar goes up, yeah.
Exactly.
That
Even
wasn't
I
the
am
even
price
when
we
they have
bought
also
it,
old
but
stock.
the idea is exactly, the idea is, okay, the dollar rate has gone up, so it will affect the next
So
merchandise you'll
they
be
will
buying.
increase
So
it.
let me increase my price so I can meet up
that
with.
is
But what excuse now do we have when
When
let's
prices
imagine you
come down.
sold out all what you bought at an expensive rate, and now
mhm,
you are buying at a cheaper
Cheaper.
rate, but you are still selling at the
No.
expensive and even a
very
more
expensive.
ridiculous rate, because things
Especially
are still
one
going
thing I
up.
noticed, especially food stuff in Nigeria. The moment the price goes up, even if
It doesn't come down.
wholesalers decide to adjust their prices when the things come down, the people that sell,
You see
the
those retailers,
retailers,
they find
will
out
retain the, and those are the
they
people
don't.
that actually sell to the people on the streets.
Yes,
And
yes, yes,
that's
they
why
don't.
I'm of the school of thought, right? That it is not the government that it is. If you actually want a good governance in Nigeria, it will start from the average me and you. Where I am also my brother's keeper, and I'm not trying to be selfish to actually have 100% profit over things. You know when
But you know that
I'm not.
Bumi, I get what you're saying, but the problem I see there is for us to be able to get to that utopia, it's going to require almost like reorientation, a national reorientation, which I
Total
feel like is
reform.
almost impossible.
Impossible.
That was what I wanted to say. I agree with you. That's what I wanted to say when you said Nigeria has has the best economics, the best this, the best that.
Best
But at the
minds,
end of
yeah.
the day, at the ben, at the end of the day, our our cultures play factor. Our religion play a role in all these
And
things. And at
individual
the end of the
personalities
day,
too.
yes. And at the end of the day, if there's somebody trying to make it right, you'd have like some people trying to say no, this is not how it should be.
Mm,
And when the no is actually higher than the high,
yes.
let's do good is actually low, and then let's do bad. Let us be selfish. It's actually
Mm,
the voices are actually more than than the good ones. We are still going to be where we are in Nigeria.
yeah. Yeah.
So
All
just
right.
like you said,
Because of time, I would round us up here. I think one of the things that we need to revisit next time is this aspect of how do we achieve that. I call it utopia because it's basically like a Karl Marx theory of a society where that is
Yeah.
perfect. But
Yes.
if we are not really asking for perfection, but we're asking for people to just do
Close
the
to it.
right thing, at
Mm-hmm.
least in a
mm,
large scale. Even in developed nations, it's not like everybody does the right thing. But I feel
nope,
like more people are doing the right thing than those who are not doing the right thing. That is why
Yes.
society works. So we hope that,
Even
well,
Nigerians
I think,
live here, get there, and then they fall in line.
yeah, exactly, they have to fall in line.
exactly.
But then, okay, let me tell you one short story. I know time has gone. Somebody, I think it was my mom that was telling me this. She said, you see somebody who go to the US and you'll behave normal. But the moment they can
Mm-hmm.
spend 20 years in the US, they can then come to Nigeria after 20 years. And from airport, they're already throwing bottle of water on the streets. After spending 20 years in a society where you cannot do that. So I don't know, maybe it's the breeze that causes
Is
it.
it?
That would be another topic to discuss. So,
The history that hits you in Nigeria airport is different from the one that hits you
yes.
abroad.
So it just gives you that manual reset that you just have.
I'm telling you.
Thank you for joining me again. So, listeners, thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure you like, you subscribe, and you share our videos. And we also want you to interact with us on the comment section if you have suggestions or you want to just move the conversation forward. We would like to hear your opinions and your views too. So I remain your boy Adeboy. I'm signing out with Bunmi and Emmanuel. Thank you.